Good evening, everyone here in Speedgaming Land. Welcome back to the Super Metroid Randomizer Tournament. It's part of Speedgaming Live Online 2023. My name is DJ Webb, and I will be bringing you this round one matchup between Kipp and BFrobber. This should be an exciting race. These are two people who are no strangers to the randomizer scene. If you have kept up with any of our recent tournaments, you've probably seen both of these players. This is seed 13 versus seed number 20. Bit of a low seed for Kipp. So this is a matchup probably you could have seen in a round or two in a lot of different tournaments, but qualifying process was difficult and there's no guarantees. So, in life you play the hand you're dealt, and both of these two will have to, try to overcome each other. This is just the best of one here in the first round of this tournament. The winner of this will play 4 seed Audraxis, aka Audra, and the loser will face Chrono. Our runners are off here in this tournament. We are just running major, minor, full area, boss shuffle. That'll be the same settings every time. So if you've seen any of the previous races today or earlier this week, you should know what's going on. But just a quick recap. Major items, which are all on your tracker, plus the tanks, are shuffled in one pool amongst each other. The other pool has missile supers and power bombs. Those locations are mostly the vanilla locations for the major items, with one switch in the wreck ship. Right super is a major, and in Upper North Fair, Hydra B tank is a minor. Other than that, we'll talk about our area transitions when we get to it. And for boss shuffle, there are 23 possible layouts for the bosses. That there would be 24 if it was completely random, but we removed the vanilla boss option. So at least 2 of our bosses will have moved from home. They're renting out an Airbnb at their friend's place, and you'll have to figure out where they are. Biggest thing that does is wreck ship turns on when you kill fan 2, not the boss in wreck ship, and the Kraid closet E-tank location is available when you defeat Kraid, as well as plasma for Dragon, as well as just doors open when you kill the boss that you would normally have to kill to open those doors. Our start here is Morph Ball in the ceiling. Bombs were on the Morph Ball pedestal. Bombs are great early because it is an unlimited supply of bomb blocking apparatus, unlike power bombs, which are limited. Speed booster, you need a runway. Screw attack is also unlimited, but doesn't work for 1 tile high. So bombs are good. You do want power bombs still. We haven't gotten any yet, but a lot easier ammo management on the power bomb front. You've got those. We aren't gonna be able to look at the left transition over there by Morph Ball. So that'll be something they hope to find from the other side at some point during the race. But until then, you're going to see a mostly standard start that you would see in like a vanilla map race. They're going to go up, probably check a couple of the miners on the way, and we'll see what they want to do as far as, Old Mother Brain. Pretty free check. It's just kind of right here. 230 is a less free check, but still possible. You don't want to leave your power bombs behind for quite some time. Give your opponent a big advantage. So we'll see what either runner decides in that case. Right now our runners are pretty much neck and neck. Just a small movement advantage from Kipp, and you will get to see everyone's favorite dichotomy in Super Metroid speedrunning. Are you a wall jump climber or are you a ledge guard climber? Somehow, to this day, there's almost no difference between them time-wise, so, there's no I'm better than you or whatnot. As Kipp says no to 230 and Beefy says yes. So, about as early a divergence as we could have gotten. We'll see if these pay off for likely the power bombs that Beefy wants, which it is. That could be a huge find here early in the game. Unlikely that Kipp will be without them for too long, but yeah, that's a nice find. This E-tank at BT will cost you a fight. Cost is minimal when you have both missiles and supers. Not too long, but you do want E-tanks, especially here early. You do not know what you're going to find when you go through a door out of criteria. And, pretty much no matter where you go, more health is better. So I'm expecting a left from Kipp. He obviously could option the 230 that he decided to not do on the way up. Just will be a bit less efficient. He proves me wrong immediately, of course. He goes right to the ship. He's going to save. He does have the option to go right for the 1, but left for 2 and Terminator is much more common than what I'm used to seeing. But he is a fan of the early save here in Criteria. If you end up going one direction and it's not something that you want, you can just come back here. It's also good if you want to check out Gauntlet on just bombs and not a lot of energy, which looks like what he's doing. This could also end up slotting him some power bombs that he doesn't have yet, but until then, BFrobber is going to be the one to show us what's going on. Terminator has Space Jump, a beautiful movement item. One of the better ones to have on its own. It's always going to be, the same consistent, infinite jumping, get as high as you want, go wherever you want, within reason. And yeah, there's our first storage portal. You can notice him by the flashing, and that's Main Street there in West Meridia. Not going to be able to do too much from there. You could go to the right and go down to the map station as the other movement item that you also like to see early, and a favorite of Kipp, high jump. So it's a nice start. If Kipp can happen upon some power bombs back here as well, he will be very happy. There's another tech that you probably don't see too often. A runner gets high jump boots, immediately turns them off. It is unlikely that people have comfortable strats for this exact area with the high jump boots on. You're so much used to just kind of doing it with them off, and spikes and the acid both can deal quite a bit of damage to you, so safety is good. BFrobber has found his way into Green Bridge Star and looked at the new bridge portal found in the front of Lower Norfair. So already bit of a world tour of the map. Kipp, unfortunately, comes up 0 for 2 on power bombs, but is going to have an extra super, which is nice early. We will see how the things treat them in the early green bin portions. There are quickly going to be some major items that are locked behind power bombs. So Kipp's going to be fine. Beefy shows us another power bomb at the charge beam missiles. So extra power bomb is nice. It's a little bit less necessary with those early bombs, like I said. Just depends on if crystal flashing is something they ever want to do. Those are power bombs Kipp's more than likely never going to see. So yeah, both of our runners have done a check that the other hasn't. One got an extra power bomb. One got an extra high jump boots. I think there's a pretty clear advantage on that, but we will see just how things go as far as what happens to our runners with the items that they have and don't have. There's a nice beam at charge beam. It was Spazer. And yeah, the wave gate has wave beam, showing everyone that the super missile trick that BFrobber showed us is, in fact, something that the logic can expect you to pull off. So we will see what else the Green Brent Star area has for us. But yeah, for now, minus those items, minus the high jump boots, basically, is what's going to be the difference for a long time here. Our runners are going to be, running the same way, doing the same stuff. While we're in a little bit of downtime, I am going to give a shout out to my tracker here in the booth with me. It's Captain Stack, if you see him there in chat. Trackers have a hard job in all of our tournaments that we run. I want to say it's a little bit harder in this one. That tracker on your screen showing you how the map is laid out is a bit unwieldy and difficult to get used to, but we felt that the visual aid to help you see the map and how it's going down would be helpful for the viewers. So everyone's doing their part to make this a possibility. And yeah, finally another E-Tank. That's something you want to see early. And another power bomb. So despite how things usually go, there is only the super missile that we've seen was the first one down in Blueprint Star, and then the one that Kipp got in Gauntlet. So not something you typically see. Usually you're gonna find more supers than power bombs. Very much not the case so far for BFrobber. Derp, Kipp did Gauntlet, that's why he has high jump and Beefy doesn't. Kipp also didn't do 230 and Beefy did, so that's the power bomb difference. Kipp will get more than likely the second one at the Edikun super, but Beefy will have an extra, more than likely for the duration of the run, depending on if at some point they end up stopping and Kips finds one. So yeah, reserve at the reserve, that's awfully vanilla, as was the E-Tank at Edikun's E-Tank. So vanilla early super would, be welcome. See if it can pull it off for him. No, just another power bomb. So yeah, power bomb advantage for Beefy, super advantage for Kipp, as well as the high jump boots. And yeah, we'll see where this door takes us. If it's not tenable, we're coming back through this area. So up the elevator we go. Some people, if your head's up and you're thinking about, potentially going down bad transitions, you might take a save there. I would say that because you know where Main Street is, it's a little bit less necessary because that's one of the things where, you can save scum going down. It is, however, the back of Rex ship, which, thanks to those high jump boots that Kipp has, is in logic and doable. It's not necessarily the fastest thing that you could possibly do, and the boss there might not be defeatable, but this is one of those things that, like I said, those high jump boosts are definitely an advantage strictly on movement alone. It's, very good item in the game. And now already here, just 11 and a half minutes in, Beefy could go right to left. You don't need the high jump boost to go right to left, but it'd be even slower. You could get stuck if you end up needing to come back, and it's already, an area that you maybe don't really want to be in that much, given the likelihood that you're not going to be getting more major items than are behind the boss, if in fact it's killable. So yeah, BFrobber's got this decision on his hands. He could decide to maybe go down West Meridia. That will be really risky because I don't think he's saved once so far. So yeah, he's headed back to the ship. He could even up the parlay and get the high jump boots from Gauntlet if he so desires. It would be quicker for him. It would have been quicker for him on the front end, given that, he had a power bomb to supplement the bombs that Kipp used exclusively. But yeah, otherwise he's going to be going to the right and showing us some new stuff. And yeah, Kipp did take that save I was talking about. It's actually pretty decent. He's going to see the back of our ship. I do expect him to go forward. If he's really thinking about keeping that save that he, just did to reset back to, if the boss isn't something he wants to do, he could decide to do the transition first and then go down to the boss. That would be, a bit slow as far as pathing goes. And yeah, turning those high jump boots back on after seeing this underwater area. But his other option is to take another save, and then, if it's a killable boss, he'll be fine. And if it's not, he could reload that save and check the area, and then potentially with the rolling save feature end up, coming back to the other save at a later point. As we find Kraid's lair, I didn't quite see if that was Moats or if it was Crab. I'm going to assume Crab, but someone's, shout out to our tracker for showing me very quickly. So yeah. And another power bomb. This is a lot of power bombs and not a ton of supers right now for BFrobber, which is this isn't the health where you're, probably comfortable doing a suitless Ridley at this juncture, but in any case, like, you want supers, and Beefy's not getting them. So, yeah, Kipp is opting to take this save here. Like I was alluding to, if he at some point wants to reload the save he did in Green Burn Star, it will still be there thanks to how the save system works when you're doing an area randomizer. Beefy finds the Kraid boss being Dragon. He's way out of there is a Crystal Flash suit, which is like disgusting, and he probably supered the eye door so he didn't have full supers, which he would have needed. So he says, nah, it's a very slow fight. And Kipp finds the other unbeatable boss, Ridley. So typical of boss rando seeds. Ridley hides in wreck ship because he knows you don't want to kill him there. It sucks because you can't farm anywhere in wreck ship off or on. The best place is the Kagos that Kipp ran by earlier, and again, they're not at a place where they want to do a Ridley fight right now. So yeah, both of our runners are armed with different parts of knowledge. The biggest thing that probably could have happened here was if Kipp found Kraid here in the wreck ship, he would have had easy access to the other Kraid major in the warehouse where Beefy just went by. You saw the door was still gray. And yeah, that's not what happened. As we find Upper Norfair and we find West Meridia. Oh goodness. No, went there, Kraid Mouth went there. This went here. Okay, if you hear me saying nonsense, I'm marking stuff on my own tracker. And yeah, so with the main street found early, Kipp is, risk-free to check this. And he's also, got this major, which isn't quite in logic. You can do this, but the way that the logic works in West Meridia, if you can get an item in logic, it expects you to be able to do it basically from the bottom. So high jump not enough to do that on its own. You'd need a screw attack or an ice beam. Not a screw attack, a spring ball or an ice beam as well. So yeah, Kipp's just, got a free roll E-Tank for him, which, will be useful if he follows in Beefy's footsteps and, comes into these hell runs. Very well executed Ice Beam hell run. Got Beefy a speed booster reward, which is very, very nice item, but the thing that makes speed booster the nicest is also having high jump. Most people who aren't, big fans of low percent speed will tell you that you have speed booster and your jump height gets weird and all the other stuff that goes into that. You are very, very much want to have the high jump boots. So yeah, Kipp has a choice. He could have just gone out that door, or he can do what he's doing right here, which is checking the map station door. He'll be fine if it's, a dead end or something he doesn't want to do right now. And yeah, he'll be able to reset to one of the things he just got back to. He would lose this E-Tank, but otherwise he wouldn't really lose much. But yeah, we'll see where this goes, as high jump is also an E-Tank for Beefy. Oh, and we find Red Tower, so this is that was a vanilla door. Funny how that works sometimes. And yeah, Kipp is on to the rest of the seed, armed with the knowledge that he has. He's not gonna have the Kraid's lair stuff, but if he does a full Red Tower sweep clear, he is very much capable of getting into, the Upper Norfair and then back to Criteria, which Beefy showed us, and that could get him back there somewhat quickly. He's more than likely still going to be unable to do the Ridley that's there, but he's now found all of the West Meridia portals now with the 2 leading to Pre-Aqueduct. So yeah, Kipp, unless he needs to traverse that area for, getting from one place to another, which I don't think is going to happen. He's done in that area forever. So that's really nice. And yeah, our runners are in completely different parts of the map. There's the gravity suit that makes that checking stuff relatively free in West Meridia. And they're armed with very different, item sets and very different sets of knowledge. With that suit we just found, it is pretty likely that the advantages on those fronts are going to Kipp. He is, he's got high jump and gravity, both of which you really, really want if you're Beefy. And very, very likely to end up with the speed booster that Beefy has. Unless he finds Varia first and Ice Beam is just not on his radar, in which case, finding Varia first will put him at an even more bigger advantage. But yeah, Kipp's kind of cruising through this one. The odds have been in his favor. And another nice item here in Upper Norfair, the Screw Attack. And another Power Bomb. So this seed does not want to give Beefy the supers that he very, very much wants, I believe. And yeah, he's been doing good managing his health in these haul runs. He's got clearly, quite the suite of miners to do a Crystal Flash if he so desired. But right now choosing the old reliable health refill here in the Speed Bugs. So let's see what Kipp decides to do. He's going to give us this middle red tower portal, which we haven't yet seen. Where are we going? We're going back a Lower Norfair. So that's going to be something he's not going to do right now with 3 energy tanks, 2 reserve tanks, and a whole lot more appetizing areas that he would much rather be in. Finally, another super for Beefy here, pre-speed. Speed booster, aptly makes this check much, much, much faster. And as he is contractually obligated, Kipp is over here at the Kipp Miners. Again, this has been a relatively sparse super seed, especially compared to the power bombs, as Kipp finds yet another super beef he hasn't seen. So he'll be in a much better shape. He actually, the Ridley that he saw is getting closer and closer to doable for him. He's not going to be back there for a while because of where Rexship is relative to his current standing, and also, if he ends up finding the Dragon at Kraid, he's going to have that, which will be, free to do, as well as some other more appetizing things. And there's also, this elevator portal, which I do not believe we've seen. Kipp more than likely ends up... Well, Kipp could end up back there. We'll see what he decides to do here. Yeah, it's putting him in a spot, because, yeah, you get in here and you kind of want to look at this, and then you're going to get here and you're going to want to look at Crab, which is what he's going to do. That's, like I said, that's going to be good. It's going to take him to Kraid's lair, get a Dragon kill out of that, as well as, I believe the miner there was a power bomb, so if he wants it, he's got it. Unless you're skipping Varia, you are good on power bombs, but most of the time people like to collect those for a little bit. Ooh, and an Ice Beam. So, despite Kipp being the one that's found, high jump and gravity, we have the Ice Beam. So there's other stuff. Both of the Bottoon hallway items are here, as well as Dragon not being vanilla. So lots of fun stuff. This was an Upper Norfair with some good items, and E-tanks in convenient spots to refill you. But unfortunately for Beefy, the items you want are in other places, and we end up in a place where, he's been hell running. It hasn't exactly paid off with the things that he needed, and now he's leaving, and he's going to end up cleaning up some of the stuff that Kipp has done. It is going to pay off with a gravity suit, though. That is an interesting point chat brings up. Kipp is saving. He's also refilling all of his, missiles right now. With the Ridley that he's seen, he is very much capable. Dragon is it's a ammo fight that Kipp, a veteran of a category low percent ice, where you have to do this with worse ammo, is very much going to be comfortable with this, but it's a safety thing. That will be my best guess as far as why to save, but we shall see. And yeah, Beefy's found his way to the gravity suits. Good news is it hasn't hurt him as far as what he did in Upper Norfair. Really, its best use is in exactly one room in the Norfair Reserve, and he didn't have any trouble there, so he is now going to be rewarded for that gravity suit when he checks this too with some West Meridia stuff, so he can he'll be in a position where he can actually clean up most of the stuff Kipp has done. The issue is it's going to be quite a bit less efficient than how Kipp did it. Mostly because at some point you're just going to end up coming back through here with the how wreck ship led into some things. And yeah, knowing the other side, you're not going to want to go all the way through there. Unless you want to option back to waterway. That's an option that came across my mind as I was speaking. You might have heard that. But that's a little far away. And yeah, Dragon does not reward us with a various suit. That would have been boss rando vanilla in a weird way. Since the boss at Kraid usually holds a various suit. But just an E-Tank, which is going to be helpful for Kipp. As given where he is very likely to end up back in Norfair. His other options are the meme route door? Question mark? Kind of aren't that many other options. We haven't seen East Meridia. Lower Norfair is a big no right now. Yeah, his other option is the Red Brinstar elevator, which has awkwardly isolated itself in a way. Okay, yeah. BFrobber saw the front of wreck ship and did not do it. So, I mean, from what we know, like that's good, but it's kind of an odd thing because you've seen the back and now you have the gravity suit that makes it all in logic. It's just a thing you have to get back to at some point, and yeah, he doesn't know that it's Ridley, and he's actually wait, is this an E-Tank here? I believe it was, right? He will be at a point now with this E-Tank that he could do the Ridley. Yeah. As expected, Kipp is coming down here where Beefy showed us all of the upper Norfair stuff, and yeah, awkwardly, both of our runners have not looked at the red tower top elevator transition, and unless our answer is meme route, or actually, I also realized the way Beefy did this, he left out the first upper Norfair check he did, which made sense given his health at the time, but there's some more portals here too that he did not do. So this middle game, once our runners kind of converge on the things that they've done, it's going to be quite interesting. Because yeah, it looks like Beefy is now going to head back to the wreck ship. If he's careful with his ammo and health, he is capable of killing Ridley right now. I don't know if he has the second reserve, but 5+1 is definitely enough if you are, like I say, if you're careful and you're good. And I know Beefy's good enough, so and yeah, an extra super just for more comfort. With the 2 green doors he had to open, he was going to be a little bit less than max going in, but now basically you just have to be smart and live and you'll be fine. So yeah, both of our runners are gonna have killed the boss in the area that they went to second and the other went to first. So we'll see which of those done early on will be more beneficial. If something comes up where you really want to find Varia, and Kipp comes back to wreck ship looking for Varia and finds it, that's gonna make things probably not too bad, but I can't quite tell right now which boss area is more isolated and is going to be more awkward to route back in. It also really depends on where the rest of this map takes us, because as you can see on your screen, there's we haven't seen East Meridia at all. That's the biggest thing we're looking for. We haven't seen Turian. That's the end game place that you have to head for at the end, and we haven't seen one of the other dead ends, which is Croc. So yeah, nice speedball. Love to see that into Fantoon's lair, and yeah, we will hopefully get to witness a well-executed no Varia Ridley fight as Beefy turns off the speed booster. You don't want awkward jump heights ruining, your otherwise comfortable movement. Bit of a unfortunate start. You're used to seeing a very quick pogo. Ooh, and he's missing a couple of these supers off screen. Not what you want to see. Ooh, I think that was a third. Alrighty. There's a pogo. Those are the things we want to see, Ridley. Another. Ooh. This attempt may be a wash, unfortunately. Oh, there's a grab, though. I did not know if Ridley was dead. So here's one of those reserves that you see a certain person in chat, abhorring sometime. Um, Paused early, but does get the health drops in time. Hopefully this is an E-Tank. It is. And yeah, Beefy lives to tell the tale. That was definitely closer than you would have liked. But a dead Ridley is a dead Ridley, and an alive Samus is an alive Samus. So the results speak. And yeah, if we are in a situation where either the items here in Red Ship are not needed, or one of them is varied and you end up being able to skip it, Beefy's done with this area forever, potentially. Which the same cannot be said for Kipp. So we shall see what the latter portions of this race have for us. It's certainly hard for me to tell what which runner is in a better position currently. It seems to me like Kipp is closer to portals that we don't know. East Meridia is a very attractive area to me currently because of the things that we have. Yeah, we got to see where Beefy's going. There's some calls in chat for him to go kill Dragon now, which could be good. I don't know. Like I said, how out of the way that is versus where you want to be and what transitions you want to be checking. But he's going out pre-aqueduct. This is how we got in here. So he's going back to Red Tower. Like I said, there's that annoying unchecked red elevator. He also hasn't looked at either X-ray or that transition right there above it either. So yeah, being back in Red Tower makes some sense to me. And yeah, he can, go up. I believe X-ray was another E-Tank. And yeah, there's a lower Norfair right above it. Which one is it? It's the back. Ooh, which is the one you want. It's a little scary for me thinking about doing that right now, but it is not out of the question. As yeah. Oh, it was reserved. That is less good than an E-Tank. By a little bit. Maybe a lot of bit. I'm not sure. It's not like his health needed to be refilled, but the thing about reserves is they come empty. So yeah, Kipp is doing Croc Door right now. It's East Meridia, and he says, see ya later. He wants to get other information here in Upper Norfair. He has cleared out all of the items here, so it's just the doors that he's looking at, and all the movement items in the world that he wants. High jump, speed, space, screw. So he's not in any danger of dying here. High jump boots are at Gauntlet. Question in chat. So yeah, Kipp is doing all of these area transitions. Ooh, and there's Turian. That was one of the outstanding things we were looking for. So now Kipp knows where every boss area is, and he knows about non-vanilla Ridley. So both of our runners are not quite in a position where they could beat the game. This is they need either a charge beam or they need more ammo. Both of them have the same number of missiles and supers somehow, until of course Beefy picks up that missile. But yeah, that's knowledge that's gonna be harder for Beefy to come by. But if his last area is East Meridia, he will end closer to Turian. And yeah, here's some more minor items coming in as Kipp reinstates the ammo parity. We love to see that. They even have the same number of power bombs. How is this possible? It's crazy. So yeah, here's finally this top elevator. If this is not Croc, it's either Croc, it's the back of East Meridia, or it's Meme Route, and whichever one it is will tell us what the other two connect to each other. So it's meme route. So yeah, the back of East Meridia is Crocomire, which could hold the various suits. But oh, it's Beefy again. Reinstates the missile parody. He has picked up an extra super, however. As Kipp did the minor checks, and then he is opting to kill Bot's Wound. He did not need to do this. I'm a little bit surprised, given that you could have gone down left sandpig, looked at that item, and then gone the other way. Potentially even checked Plasma if you were so inclined. This way does get you to the boss without, much of a detour. An extra mini boss fight in there, but yeah. So now Beefy's going back to criteria, it looks like, for that Dragon kill. And I believe once he finds well, actually, he's got to find both of the outstanding upward or fur checks to have the knowledge of Crocomire being at the back. And yeah, other than that, it's gonna be Kipp's gotta find a way to get Ridley killed. That is becoming more out of the way for him. He's also more than likely going to check this this back transition, which, as we just said, is Croc. Other than that, yeah, they're both. Well, the Emerald parody's been restored again as Beefy checked a minor he'd already gotten at some point. It's a bit of unfortunate time loss, but yeah, here's Fantoon, which confirms that Varian Wreck Ship is a possibility. Given that Kipp has to go back to get that boss kill, and he now knows both where Back of Ellen and Turian are, he actually doesn't really need to check the transition if he doesn't want to. So yeah, the possibilities for what's going on right now have not they have not gotten any shallower. I do not know what each runner is going to do, nor do I know what is the best option for them or what the outcome will be regardless. This one's going to come down to the wire potentially, and the differences are going to be Kipp's had high jump the whole time so far. This is it's not made a ton of difference. It looked like he cleaned up early game more efficiently, but not having Ridley killable has kind of nullified, if not flipped that all the way around, frankly. As well done, Doppler. It's Fantoon down. So what you just saw there on your screen was something we call chain damage. Basically what happens is if you kill Dragon with the Shine Spark, as you saw Beefy doing, you can potentially take a lot of damage, borderline infinite damage, if you so you stay in Dragon's hurt box when you do the kill, and if you don't exit it quickly, you usually see runners and do an aim down. Yeah, you just keep taking hits, and no one's happy about that. You definitely heard me audibly gasp as yeah, Beefy checked that minor but did not save because he knew what the boss was and that it was killable. Then he had Gravity Suit, and that in most, like 99 out of 100 times, he's perfectly fine and doesn't need that save. But this was the one, and yeah, he's back to Wreck Ship. He's got to do this no Vari or Ridley kill again, and if yeah, that's 5-ish minutes maybe of time loss, probably more. If I had a timestamp readily available of when his first Ridley kill was, we could say just how far back that sent him. And this Ridley fight's going pretty much like the first one went, several misses, but a much earlier pogo, which is nice. He should be pretty close to dead already. Ooh, and that's tail hit and acid. Okay, get the grab, get the grab! Yeah, reserves activated. That's going to do it for this fight attempt as well. Is he going to... Oh, goodness. So for those who aren't the most familiar with BFrobber, he's known for being a big fan of X-Ray. People like to see X-Ray and call it Beefy Go mode. X-Ray lets you do a lot of very glitchy things, most of which are... Well, The only like X-ray tech that's not banned for most of our competitions is like the microwave stuff you see to kill bosses. But being one that knows a lot of, esoteric strats, it looked to me like he was trying to frame perfect pause abuse for, ever until the the health drops appeared, which is something that you can technically do. It's just, a bunch of frame perfect pauses. Basically the way the game works is it will not kill you if you're in fade in or fade out of pause. So yeah, and as you see, Kipp has literally everything under the sun that you would ever want for this area besides Varia, but because of the health and the miners and the knowledge of no Ridley down here, he says, you know what? I'm just coming in here, running through Lower Norfair. Energy ticking down and we don't really care. Did take some acid dip, but because of how much, how many miners he has, he also knows that this is exactly Kraid, which is the easiest boss that takes the least amount of ammo that you have currently. So plenty of crystal flashes here. He's even going to pick up that reserve for the extra health that it'll give him once he crystal flashes. Probably wasn't even necessary though, frankly. I believe that's his third. And yeah, hopefully he can avoid tragedy and get through here scot-free. And yeah, Beefy already knew about that vanilla E-tank behind Ridley. Kipp is going to take the save going down. Saves are good, they save lives. Especially in a no Varia Lower Norfair scenario. And yeah, there's a confirmation. 3 reserve tanks. The first 2 are almost full. So lots of health here. Kipp can probably make it. Honestly, he might be able to make it to the door here if he nails all of his strats and doesn't take any side hopper hits in Wasteland. But yeah, this has been quite the unfortunate circumstances as BFrobber was, playing a heck of a race and potentially poised to, take a victory, if not make it an extremely, extremely close finish. And as it currently stands, it's kind of the ball's in Kipp's court. If he handles it as well as he is capable, he will most likely be coming away with the victory in this one, as Beefy's got to, redo all the things he did for the past several minutes. And he also, I believe, he still didn't end up checking those final 2 outstanding Upper Norfair areas, so he's still not even 100% sure of how to get into East Meridia and where Torian is. So yeah, we'll watch this Kraid fight on Kipp's screen. Normalized setup with the power bomb. I don't know if laying it that early does the lag reduction. I assume it does. Yeah, it should. There's different ways to do the lag reduction. They have wave beam, so they also could have done some there, but it doesn't look like Kipp was too concerned about any of that, and he's just gonna murder Kraid. Probably he's checking for an E-tank, because why the heck not? It would be useful. And he does not find an E-tank. He finds the X-ray scope, which does him absolutely no good at this point of the race, but he was pretty much in the hitbox when he revealed it, so there's your 7 seconds of fanfare. And yeah, Kipp's gonna be leaving the way he came, and after this he has to make it his way back to the wreck ship, kill Ridley, but want to be able to get some supers from somewhere. I don't know where that somewhere is. It might just be the ship. Yeah, this in-game routing, this is what I think the people in chat were saying, because just like, the way that Kipp did these things makes it so. Well, actually, you're really not that far away from the wreck ship, are you? Where is it? You're gonna be in Red Tower. Red Tower takes you to West Meridia, definitely, right? And then wreck ship is off of that. So yeah, he's really not too far away. Alright, so Kipp is into the Key Hunter Stairs room. He says, I don't really need that save. or he just wanted to get down to Crystal Flash amp health range before doing so. So yeah, that's the thing that makes sense. So Beefy's going back to take his revenge on Dragon. And yeah, Kipp with a successful Crystal Flash saves, so Kraid is dead forever. Just needs to make his way out of here with, you know, gravity, high jump, base jump, screw attack, speed booster, and 6+3, which is it's a bit overkill. You don't need all of this, but you know, you take it and you want it to make things, you know, less mentally taxing on you. So yeah, this is the other thing that I hadn't made mention of for a while, but yeah, Kipp still needs definitely one more super that will put you at you know, missile the doors and refill and you're good to go. He doesn't get a super there, but he's got a few other places. I don't think he checked Ocean when he was in Wreck Ship the first time. He's also got, you know, left super available to him, as well as a few other miners that are potentially on the way. But he definitely needs a few more. So Dragon fight on Beefy side. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 2 for Kipp over to Redfish, the top portal in West Meridia. That's going to take him to Wreck Ship. Beefy's showing Dragon how he feels about her. And yeah. Yeah, we are still unsure about the location of the various suit. It could be anywhere in the Wreck Ship because Fantoon was in West Meridia. It could be in either of the slower West Meridia checks, or not East Meridia, those being Plasma and Spring Ball. And then it could also be in Waterway, and it could also be Croc. There's several outstanding locations, which is why now the runners particularly cared. As Kipp's taking a route I wasn't expecting to. Oh, he's taking a route to go to ship because he needs supers. That's why he's back here in Criteria. Shoot, yeah. I need to live in the universe where Beefy doesn't die to chain damage and see that race because I don't know how it ends up. This is unfortunately, you know, depending on your perspective, unfortunately we got the race where a death cost a runner several minutes, and against most people in this tournament, frankly, but especially against some of the strongest Kipp, it's not gonna go his way. So runners are both in Criteria 4 just a little bit. Kipp is going back to where he was, the West Meridia, to find his way to the Wreck Ship. Again, he still has to find a few more miners to be able to complete the game. More than likely, he's not going to have an issue, especially if I was right and that Ocean item is a super and he hasn't collected it yet. Kipp not sure where he's going right now. He needs to go right. Yeah, and then up to the top of this area. And yeah, Beefy is doing the lower Norfolk play we saw Kipp do. That is his 50th super. Alrighty, so here is the final boss area that Kipp needs to complete. He's got a day with a Space Pelican. Gotta shoot a bunch of supers and be done with it. We will see if he elects to do the left super. He's not doing it now. It's a little bit surprising to me, but it doesn't really matter if you do it now or if you do it later. The only thing doing it now is going to do is potentially do damage to you that you don't want to take before Ridley, but it's very, very likely to be inconsequential. You also don't have to take damage. So here's a Ridley fight, I guess the fourth that we've seen on the restream. Kipp with quite a bit more reserve health, as well as a higher super count than Beefy ever had, but still, you know, the Space Pelican does what the Space Pelican does, you know. Late pogo, lots of tail swipes, and a few missed supers as well on this end. Beefy's waiting around here and key stairs for the Crystal Flash. There's this first one. So yeah, no issues for Kipp here and Ridley. Not gonna look at the item behind it. Pretty much only charge would have been of any use there, and even that was of very little use. But yep, he's out of there. Again, I'm assuming we're getting a left super check here. He finds another power bomb. It's another missile for Kipp, so definitely not what he was looking for. But like I said, I'm pretty sure he's got a super waiting for him in the ocean, and then he'll be good to go. Alrighty, we're in the metal part room for Beefy. They've both been dispatched of, and if he has a good clean space jump through here, he can definitely make it to Kraid without popping another Crystal Flash. And it was X-ray behind Kraid, so not going to be getting that health refill, but you will get, you know, you'll get the drops. You'll have plenty to Crystal Flash no matter what, and yeah, he'll be good to go. So yeah, Kipp needs to head to Upper Norfair, get to Turian via the Chronic Boost room, and that'll be it. Successful Kraid quick kill. And after that, yeah, Beefy's also going to need to head to Upper Norfair, but still has some looking around to do. Unsurprised that he picks up that X-ray scope. So yeah, Kipp is he's not super healthy, but you know, those 3 reserves are definitely gonna show their worth here. He can certainly make it to the Chronic Boost door here. Given that he had already paused, I'm surprised that he didn't just manually pop the reserves, especially with 3 full ones. You lose quite a bit of health during the refill animation. The ticking is real. It's draining your energy, so looks to me like he's gonna hit up Nutella and be fine. So yeah, Beefy is Crystal Flash again. He does not have another one with only 1 current super, so he does need to make it out, but more than enough health, I believe he'll be fine. Assuming things go well. Screw attack, very, very much key here to... Ooh! That is not a hit you wanted to take, even with Gravity Suit. So you're going to see a feature of the area randomizer. Kipp's current health and ammo will be completely refilled, including those reserves, once he goes down this elevator and emerges in Turian. He's going to turn off Screw Attack and be good. So yeah, here's a save from Beefy. Needs to have good clean movement here in this lower Norfair exit. I unfortunately don't know his reserve situation, if it's 1 or 2. If it's 2, he's definitely fine. If it's 1, it might be a little dicey on this exit. Yeah. Hopefully get some health here. Fires his final super. So yeah, some nice and comfy Metroid rooms from Kipp. Definitely didn't quite nail his room 3 strat, but otherwise nicely done. And then he misses a turnaround. Don't see that too often. But yeah, Metroids have been dispatched of. Ammo completely full. With the 3 reserves, Kipp's energy situation is not necessarily too dire. More interested in if Beefy can execute this room pretty much flawlessly and get out of here in time to tell the tale is not a given. He's gonna be on like 3. Oh my goodness! So close. Unfortunate the way this has turned out for BFrobber, who was running an incredible race up to a point, and as things tend to do, the snowball effect has, you know, made its way into Beefy's place. Yeah. Kipp here in an ammo Turian scenario. You do want to use supers, especially on the red doors. 3 supers, or 3 missiles for 1 super, but it's 5 missiles for a door versus 1 super, so you are saving 200 damage, which you very well could need. Kipp is definitely not in a minimum situation. He's got ammo to spare, but it's not a ton. High speed definitely making it comfy here as far as, you know, not getting Rinkas in your way. So the 43 supers, he needs to supplement 17 supers worth of missiles, which is 51. So only 5 missiles to spare, which is 1 2/3 supers. So if he misses 2 supers, that would be it. But if you're careful, you can definitely get through this scot-free. And being a randomizer veteran, as both of them are, you've done an ammo mother brain fight hundreds of times. Oh, and Beefy took a key hunter hit. And as you see, yeah, Kipp being quite careful, hits every super. So if he hits every missile, he will be left with 5. If he's, you know, being exact and doesn't shoot any extra. So that is it. Kipp is going to drain his reserves manually because he was so close to top. He didn't want to waste all that animation. And yeah, Mother Brain 2 is dead. Without Various Suit, which is the only suit that you know, does Rainbow Beam damage reduction, you do need 6 tanks to survive this. So oh wow. A rare Key Hunter Powerbomb drop. I want to say that's probably a 2%er or a 4%er, but probably health would have been better, and the drop wasn't collected in any case. And then small health here, definitely not what you wanted to see. And a nothing. What on earth is going on with these drops? Alright. Let's see, a successful escape here from Lower Norfair from Beefy. He's got 246 energy to go. And hopefully that'll be enough. I think that's more than he had last time I saw him enter this room. Man, oh man. Just a little bit of dipped his toes in the acid, and that was all it took. That acid drains your health very, very quickly without the very suit. Alrighty. Escape sequence has been activated on Kipp's side. You're gonna see a very standard, very comfortable escape. You have almost hundo loadout. I guess this will be like old route loadout plus screw attack. But Kipp doesn't have screw attack equipped, so it is just kind of the old route loadout. And yeah, it's looking like right around the hour mark. I don't know if it'll be above or below, but you know, usually, you know, right around the hour mark, especially if you can get below it, those are pretty good times. This was, like we said, well fought race from both of our runners. Could have really been a barn burner here at the end, but instead we're going to be seeing Kipp advance here. A couple more rooms to go, and yeah, just going to tick over the hour mark. And hopefully, as Kipp stands on the ship, oh no, that asset's gonna spell Beefy's doom. Unless he can get some. Oh, we got drops. Nice. Yeah, that's it. Beefy's out of Lower Norfair, and Kipp is out of Zebus. That's a first place finish with an official race time of 1 hour and 8 seconds. Beefy forfeited shortly thereafter, seeing the dot done. Still not in a position to finish the race. He had to both find East Meridia, do it, and then go to Turian. So opts out of the rest of completing the rest of the seed. He will still be alive, of course. This is a double elimination bracket, as I stated earlier. He will still be, you know, capable of running it all the way back to the end of the tournament. Clearly showed a lot of skill in this race. So yeah, that is how this one has ended up. I'm joined by our winner in the commentary booth. How's it going, Kipp? GG's.
Thanks, TJ. What's up, man?
This was, oh my goodness, this was an exciting race. I know you two talked a little bit in the race chat, the unfortunate pain damage death from BFrobber, but I have no idea how this race goes if that doesn't happen. Chat seems to think Beefy was quite ahead, but they're more reliable than me. But yeah, tell us what you thought.
Frankly, I'm tired of being involved in races where chain damage dictates potentially a loss. It's happened to me, and it's happened to a few of my opponents, which I don't, you know, prefer, obviously, to have that be a reason that you win. But yeah, this one for me was kind of interesting because, sorry, y'all can hear Sam whining in the background. She got some treats. I think she wants some more. But yeah, this one was a tough one for me. I'm going to compare it to some other seeds I've been running. I've been trying to go back and run like a lot of these race seeds. Like I'll go into race time and like grab people's seeds and run them just to see how it compares. And like literally one or two decisions here or there in this type of setting or these types of settings can sometimes tremendously change your end time, like really, really big. Like earlier I ran one where I ended up being like 15 minutes faster than the winning time, but I am not even close to 15 minutes, you know, like better than either of the players. So it just came down to like a chain of events. So for this one, I was happy to see high jump boots at Gauntlet. And then as soon as I got to the end of Green Brinstar and it went into the back of wreck ship, I was like, oh my God, like that's not really a play I prefer to make, but I kind of got forced into it. And then from there, I was hoping that, well, maybe this is the way you had to go. And then it turns out you didn't have to go that way because everything connected to the right side of criteria. So I wasn't super pleased with a lot of the way this was laid out. In terms of how I played, executed where it mattered the most in the most important places, but there were still some, you know, brain farts that I had.
We're just getting confirmation very soon with the grapple beam. That is
I don't even know where Croc was.
Croc was at the back of East Meridia.
Gotcha. Well, anyway, Beefy, GG, man.
Yeah, GG.
Yeah, so if you look at the tracker, Beefy never did Gauntlet, so he didn't have those high jump boots. So he was forced back, well, not necessarily forced, but pretty much forced back the way through Green Brinstar. The way it worked out, you found like, you know, the Kraid boss and the wreck ship boss kind of at similar times. Neither of you could do the first one you came across, and then when you ended up finding the other one that the other one had, you both killed that boss when the other one didn't. So that was a big difference. Kipp, you had the gravity suit pretty early. Beefy found it in a way that didn't lose time over finding it much earlier. It's just that kind of the wreck ship being where it was really out of the way for Kipp at the end. And yeah, now you found Varia, and yeah, some decisions were made, and the portals kind of lended themselves to being kind of isolated. Both of you kind of left the top of Red Tower for a while, but that also didn't really cost anyone. It was just, yeah, it was a fascinating race, and yeah, you probably heard both myself and Kipp, with the unfortunate part of the chain damage.
Yeah, that chain damage was really, really bad. I think my Ellen was pretty bad when I did it, but I had an extra reserve when I died, and then I didn't pick that back up, and that would have made things a lot easier. So I think it would put him pretty close, because I would have known where East Murdy is.
Yeah. Especially when you're doing Crystal Flash in Lone Warfare, a tank is basically 2 or 3 tanks when you have it versus not having it because of all the Crystal Flashing. So, yeah.
Yeah, the high jump boots would have been pretty helpful as well, because speed alone is it's something.
That it most certainly is. Yeah. I think I don't have too many questions for either of you. Kipp talked a little bit. If you have anything else to say, Beefy, feel free. Otherwise, get a little bit of housekeeping, and we can get out of here.
Yeah, well, just thanks for the race, Kipp. It was a pretty good seed, and then thanks to the commentators and the trackers.
Yeah, thank you as well to Beefy, and also everybody who commentated and tracked. I got to tell y'all, it's a huge sense of relief getting past the first round of this one, because I understand why they set it up this way, and I'm not complaining at all about the format, but a best of one on the first round and then a best of one in the first round of the losers bracket is very scary, especially for settings like this. So I'm happy to get into, past this one and into a best of 3. The only complaint that I have is, I recently put up some new artwork in my stream room, and I even had Sam in here for part of the stream. I was really excited because I saw some races where, they showed people's cameras, so I had mine on. And now they're not on the restream. So I got to ask Glove, what did Glove do, to be able to be on the stream? And Beefy and I aren't good enough. Is that what the deal is?
There were some OBS issues early on when they were setting up the race, so I'm assuming they just didn't get around to it, unfortunately.
No, I'm just kidding around. But yeah, I'm excited about the next round. I think I'm playing Audra, is that right?
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. You two probably had the 2 worst seeds for the bracket path, because yeah, this was a hard matchup and it will never be easy if, kind of no matter what, because yeah, next round 4 seeds Audra. The next round after that could be quite a few good people, including Sloters and Nitro. After that, you might be facing Aussie. It's a brutal gauntlet for this exact
bracket. Yeah, I love stats, DJ, right? So I was looking at the bracket. Let me throw out a couple stats for you real quick. This is the most absolutely brutal half of a bracket that I have ever seen. In the top half of this bracket, we have, of the last 8 randomizer tournaments that I've been in, 7 of the champions are in the top half of the bracket. And then if you just count in the finals in totality, we have 13 of the last 16 tournaments, finals represented in just the top half of the bracket. So, and for me, this one's kind of a weird one. I don't think I've lost a best of 3 in the last 4 years, except for only to Audra.
Yeah.
So that's rough for me. At this point, I think we got to assume that Audra has my number. So we'll see how it goes. However, the one time I did beat Audra was in a tournament with just these settings. So I'm sure both of us will enjoy playing each other. But yeah, that's a rough second round match.
Yeah, I have a favor to ask of both of you. I'm out of town next Wednesday to Sunday, so if you could schedule that in the next like 3 days, it would be very, very appreciated from my end.
Yeah, I got you.
I definitely not force you to. Kind of also don't expect either of you to agree to that. You probably want some time to prepare, but
That, and I think most people know I work in public education, and I'm responsible for all the back to school professional development, and it starts on Monday. So like this is literally like the busiest 2 weeks of my year usually. So it's going to be rough, but yeah, I'll practice some, and one way or another, no matter win or lose, it'll be fun. And um, I really just enjoy playing. So even if I 0-2 the next 2 rounds in a row, at least I'll get like some more races in. So I'm really appreciative of the organizers putting this on. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's always fun to get in here and race with everybody.
yeah, I know losers bracket gives you more potential matches to the end. So definitely not a place you want to be, but also a fun place to be. Keep racing.
True. Well, anyway, yeah, good luck to everybody. I'm really going to enjoy watching all these matches, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so thank you everybody for joining us. I'm going to give our runners a shout out. If you enjoyed this wild race that you saw, feel free to give those runners a follow. Also, if you so desire, you can look up the tracking and broadcast team as well. This has been a great race to cast. Again, thanks to both of you. This is our final race for today, and of course I don't have the schedule pulled up right away, but I'm going to get it for you really soon. Tomorrow, first race is at 2 p.m. Eastern. Ace Zero versus Slutters. That's another one of those things that's on this half of the bracket, as Kipp was alluding to. That does not quite yet have a channel. Nothing's been assigned for tomorrow, but probably that'll get a channel. At 5 p.m. Eastern, Kupo versus Tillymorph. That's actually our first losers round 1 matchup, so someone's getting eliminated in that one. And then at 10 p.m. Eastern, the 16 versus 17 seed, which should be a good one. Derp versus Tony T. Young. So yeah, we have lots of exciting races still to come for you. This is, tournament's basically just beginning, and we will have a lot of Super Metroid Randomizer action coming at you in the weeks and maybe months to come. I don't know how long this will take, but yeah. Thank you to everyone who was a part of putting this on. Thanks to everyone in chat for keeping me entertained, having a blast with this one, and until next time, we will see you next mission.